You've said cars are an area ripe for disruption. How important is it that Apple not miss out?
We're focusing on autonomous systems. Clearly, one purpose of autonomous systems is self-driving cars. We sort of see it as the mother of all AI projects. It's probably one of the most difficult AI projects, actually, to work on.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Audacious Money Witch channel, where we talk about investing and trading and a lot of fun things. Why Rivian is living Steve Jobs' Apple car dream. RIVN stock more exciting than you think.
Get ready for the iCar. What's your take on the resurgence of this Apple automobile rumor?
An Apple car.
Apple car. Self-driving electric car. Apple car. This is really all over the wires.
Perhaps Apple's worst kept secret, the Apple car project, has been canceled. Rumors speculated that it will be a fully featured self-driving electric vehicle that will compete with Tesla. But the margins weren't viable. Staff working on the project pivoted to Apple AI divisions. So Gen AI killed Steve Jobs' Apple car dream. Even though it was going to be a fully autonomous car, it's almost like Gen AI is killing the autonomous AI. Like Terminator TX is killing the T800. No, it's actually more like profit is killing innovation. Nevertheless, Apple is the first company to reach $1 trillion valuation and the first company to reach $3 trillion. Yet it doesn't have the balls to live the dream that its co-founder Steve Jobs envisioned. It's all because of Wall Street, margin, and profitability. Of course, when Warren Buffett and the government officials became the owners of the shares, it's easy to stop innovating and dreaming. Apple's dream of revolutionizing the car industry has come to an abrupt end after a decade of work and billions of dollars invested. The project, known internally as Titan, was plagued by leadership indecision, technical hurdles, and shifting ambitions, ultimately leading to its cancellation in February. It was Jobs' idea. Apple co-founder Steve Jobs planted the seed for Apple's car ambitions. In the late 2000s, driven by his vision of dominating every aspect of the consumer experience, he envisioned Apple creating this generation's Volkswagen Beetle. He even explored acquiring General Motors during the 2008 financial crisis. While Jobs passed away before the project took off, his initial spark ignited a decade-long journey for Apple in the automotive world. A decade of investment, billions of dollars spent. Apple poured a staggering amount of resources into Project Titan. Apple spent $1 billion annually for the past 10 years, amounting to nearly a fifth of its R&D budget a decade ago. Despite $10 billion invested, the project never yielded a commercially viable product. Unlike Rivian, which was selling for $10 billion when I bought that dip. Leadership struggles and disagreements. Tim Cook, the CEO, initially supported the idea of a fully autonomous car, but his enthusiasm waned as technical and economic challenges became apparent. Doug Field, the project's leader, championed a level 5 autonomous vehicle, no human needed, while others, like Kevin Lynch, advocated for more realistic level 2 system, driver assistance, not replacement. This lack of a unified vision and constant pivoting hindered decisive action. Unfulfilled partnerships and acquisitions in a bid to expedite development. Apple pursued partnerships or acquisitions with established players. They contemplated collaborating with Tesla, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW. They even considered buying McLaren. However, none of these efforts materialized. A car of many faces, never reaching the road. Apple's vision for the car went through numerous attempts. They started with ambitious designs led by legendary Joni Ive, like the self-driving bread loaf minivan. Inspired by the classic Volkswagen microbus and the pod-shaped I-beam with gull-wing doors. I guess they just don't know what they want or what the market wants, but Rivian does. Technical and economic hurdles proved too high. As the project progressed, Apple encountered significant technical challenges in developing reliable and safe self-driving technology. Additionally, the estimated production cost of $120,000 far exceeded their target price of $85,000, raising concerns about profitability. Ultimately, these challenges, coupled with the lack of a clear path forward, led Apple to call it quits. Job losses and asset sales marked the project's end. The cancellation of Project Titan will impact the jobs of roughly 2,000 employees. Some will be transferred to AI division within Apple, while others will be laid off. A longtime Apple executive said the project was widely seen within Apple as the ill-conceived product that needed to be put out of its misery. While Apple Car is being put out of its misery, Rivian just getting started. This is the company that actually has the balls to compete with the mighty Tesla, the one and only profitable EV maker in America. I will let you know why they have a great chance of success and living the dream that Apple walked away from. Why I admire that about them. They are actually needed in this EV market, which is why I dip my toes 1% in this unprofitable Rivian stock right at this most hated EV moment. At around $10.50 a share, I didn't know they were about to launch R2 so soon. Rivian shares jumped on Friday as its cheapest R2 SUV racked up by tens of thousands of reservations within hours of its launch, fueling optimism that the electric vehicle maker could expand in this mass market segment. Rivian unveiled the highly anticipated R2 SUV during a presentation Thursday. The smaller R2 SUV, which will start at $45,000, has attracted more than 68,000 reservations. CEO R.J. Scaringe said, "Given Tesla has shown little ambition to move into the SUV space, Rivian could be one of the few EV SUVs on the market that most investors will likely want to buy over the next 3 to 4 years. The reason why I was interested in this stock is that after my market research about their models, I realized they are making the kind of SUV that actually goes off the road. Let's be honest, Cybertruck is not a true off-roader. They are not designed for it. Rivian's R1 was designed to go off-road. In my opinion, that's a niche EV market that hasn't been covered by Tesla or other ICE makers. Rivian plans to start producing the R2 at its existing US factory to hasten deliveries in the first half of 2026. The Amazon-backed EV maker hitting pause on the construction of its second factory in the Georgia may result in cost savings that will delay further fundraise. The move is expected to drive additional savings of more than $2.25 billion for the company compared to its prior forecast. Not to mention, it sells commercial EV vans to enterprises. In a surprise move, Rivian also introduced the R3 and a more powerful R3X variant on Thursday. The R3 will be cheaper than the R2 and will be launched after that vehicle. This is huge because they are showing the world and Tesla that compact EV and Tesla's next gen platform is already here in Rivian. And it looks so sick. I mean, I really admire the Star Wars theme and the feeling of driving Han Solo's Millennium Falcon. The launches came when EV demand is rising at a slower pace than automakers had expected, forcing market leader Tesla to slash prices to spur sales of its aging model lineup. If you care about the short-term stock price, you need to know what Wall Street analysts think about the Rivian stock. Wedbush on Rivian. We view these two vehicle debuts as a large positive step in the right direction for the Rivian story, as the company focused on a more cost-effective vehicle to target further EV adoption, and will be purely up to the execution on the project churning out current R1 orders to regain some street momentum and confidence. I've said that R2 updates are critical for continued EV penetration. A focus on a new battery platform, self-driving capabilities, and a large number of sensors and cameras on the R2. We were also surprised to see a sneak peek of the R3 platform, which is mainly derived from the R2, shrinking the vehicle more into a crossover competitor. In the eyes of the street, it is all about the R1 execution and production ramp after disappointing 2024 guidance. With the factory shutdown coming in the near future to implement new technologies, I've said the stock may be a wait and see story based on production, optimization, and profitability. Rivian still has a mountain-like climb ahead. We see the decision to utilize normal for initial R2 launch as the prudent decision given the current capital environment. Rivian's comments pointing to having enough cash to fund operations through the start of R2 production, which will come in the first half of 2026. Levy points out that the R2 closely mirrors the size and design of Tesla's incorporation Model Y, but Model Y is not an SUV that can go off-road. Let's not kid ourselves. While the R3's reveal indicates a model akin to Toyota's RAV4 or Honda's CR-V, which are massively produced products for everyone, and something Tesla hasn't launched yet. Given the high growth, capital intensive nature of Rivian's business, we believe that DCF-based valuation is most fitting. Though we believe applying a risk-weighted discount to RIVN's intrinsic value helps to account for the still early stage nature of the market, further softening demand due to near-term recession worries and slower adoption of passenger EVs than currently forecasted are also mentioned as risks for Rivian. Goldman Sachs on Rivian. We believe the R2 will help to materially expand Rivian's TAM, total addressable market, and the company can leverage products, technology across the R1, R2, and R3, R3X. We believe that Rivian's opportunity to reach a positive gross margin in late 2024 and ability to strengthen the balance sheet will be key focus items for the market in the near to intermediate term. A starting price of $45,000 for the R2 will increase the addressable market for Rivian, targeting around 25% to 30% of the market, compared to 10% of the market targeted with vehicles $70,000 and up like the R1. While there was no price tag provided for the R3, it would likely have a lower starting point than the R2, which could expand Rivian's TAM even further. The final reason why I bought Rivian is because the CEO is solely focused on Rivian.